shit is real, man. This ain't no act, man. This ain't no dollar store shit. This is real shit, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no dollar store.
We don't have a bunch of this shit on.
This ain't no act, man.
400 right here. 400. He got a trail ride in the hood of his car. Let him know. Let him know.
Hey man, y'all. Hey, look, I'm the host tonight. Y'all already know what we hosting. We hosting. I'm taking C Good. I'm taking this job day. Cause we in Acres Home. We where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the hood. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just chilling. They laid back right now. You know what I'm saying? They just doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Then we roll wheels too out here too. You know what I'm saying? What they got it twisted? What they got it twisted?
RV, let him make it. Let him make it. You gotta save some for the next one.
We keeping it too real doing that. Like Killer say.
We gotta keep it that real.
Ain't nothing in the house. It's all in Wood Forest. Don't even try to come to the house.
I'm full of that muddy water. This ain't slab music, these Cadillac records. I'm in love with my slab, my Cadillac special. She's my Beyonce, but I don't put a ring on it. I dress her to kill, then I put them things on it. Slab swing on it to the left. If it ain't right, I put it to the test. I'm fresh, I'm riding on foes, cause I serve and collect. Looking good like God with an extra OQ. I'm riding on foes, cause I serve and collect.
What's up, y'all? This SlabOgsTV back at it again with another interview. Today, for all my content creators, or if you just been around for, you know, them block parties back in the day, you know, what was going on in the early 2000s, hey man, this is a legend right here. He really started from what I'm doing, you know. I watched these videos that he put out when I was a kid, so without further ado, introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
See Good, Sky High Entertainment, make no other arrangement.
Yeah.
Forget what you heard, recognize what you see. If you ain't poking, you're joking. And if they clacking, they ain't worth jacking. Now the last part, I created that.
Yeah.
But I got if you ain't poking, you joking from Lil Dante from Crane Street. Green Line.
Yeah.
He was the first one. Oh, if you ain't poking, you joking.
Yeah.
And that's the slogan that Texan Wild Wheel ended up branding, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But I said if you ain't clacking, they ain't worth jacking. Cause back in the day, you know, if you go rob or steal some wheels, well, see, before you take some wheels, they used to scout your car to see how it ride. So if you riding on some swingers and it
clacking,
they like, man, I don't want
it ain't worth taking.
Cause I think you had to take the wheels to Mr. Davis. You had to get them welded, and I think it was somebody like out in East Texas or in Louisiana that done the welding on the wheels too. But then I heard this cat over from my side of town was like, man, if they clacking, man, don't even much jack them, don't even take them. So that's what if they clacking, they ain't worth jacking. I wasn't encouraging that, but that was just like for them boys that riding this, that sound like somebody typing in court.
Yeah.
You know.
Already, man. Can you tell the viewers what neighborhood you're from in Houston?
I'm from Lakewood, born and raised by way of my grandmother on my mother's side was from Crane Street in 5th Ward, and my grandmother on my dad's side was on Yellowstone. Then I went to school, grew up in City Gas too, somewhat, because I went to elementary out there. Yeah. So I used to, that was a part of my geography in Houston, but I always lived in Lakewood, born and raised, always.
Coming up, you know, in your era, you know, I don't think I had nobody on the interview except for Ernest from Fly Ride that was from Lakewood, but is it?
And 90,
90 Killer,
90 Killer, Theo.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
Okay, but coming up from your perspective, what was it like coming up in Lakewood, you know, on that northeast side of town?
Growing up on the northeast side of town, I was born in the 80s, so I caught the beginning of the crack era. Cause you gotta understand, northeast Houston, you know, a lot of them neighborhoods, they were predominantly white. Everybody, all our parents that come from 5th Ward, Trinity Garden, Studewood, the 4th Ward, Acres Home, the original City Gas, the original black neighborhood, that was like a come up. Those neighborhoods, Lakewood, Glenwood, Scenic Wood, and that was almost like equivalent to us moving to Humble from Lakewood and the northeast community. That was like a come up, a better life. But what they didn't understand was they brought all our OGs come from the original neighborhoods, and then it was the crack era. So they really crunked these neighborhoods up off of selling crack. And then the crack was really the downfall for our communities. I mean, it was praised upon, but it just pretty much destroyed us. That was a death, bro. That wasn't the only epidemic. It was also an AIDS epidemic. You know, the crack era is the reason why a lot of our OGs left us in the 90s and the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So, but coming up over there at the time, for me, it was the Mike era. Like I was telling you, you know, you want to either be like Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, or Michael Jackson. So, you know, I didn't grow up looking up to drug dealers. You know, I used to see them, but they wasn't balling like the Mikes was, not to me. So we were playing sports, trying to be entertainers, or, you know, trying to, you know, like boxing, but we didn't have boxing gyms. It was more like Mike Tyson was just being able to know how to fight. That's why boys was squabbling. They really wasn't pulling no pistols unless it was some jacking or some about some money or something going on, you know.
It seemed like during that era, especially on that side of town, that northeast side of town, it seemed like it was just lawless back then.
Oh,
man. It was like damn near, where's the law?
That wasn't the place to come to, because it was just territorial. That's why we wasn't blooding and cripping. When I left Houston and come back in 06, that's when I started noticing like the gang banging and all that. I know where that come from. You going to the penitentiary or state school and they banging down there, so you coming back home with it. But wasn't none of our OGs that I could really recall gang banging. Now you had a few people that came here from California, but they pretty much was on the run from something they done out there and was coming down here. But our OG was so stiff that didn't fly with us. That was like, you might see somebody over there trying to build blood or crip, and they used to be like, it was about what neighborhood and block you was from, period. It wasn't no colors. It was like, we used to wear posse hats, Lakewood posse, Rosewood posse, Greenspoint posse. That was what it was. It was neighborhoods first.
Since it being just so many neighborhoods over there, was it kind of like some beef? Because, I mean, on Homestead alone, it's probably like 10 neighborhoods.
The OGs really didn't beef because they was getting money. They always was like the OGs really never beefed. They was really friends with each other. It was as the pyramid trickled down to the neighborhood kids, fighting was recreation. You know, you can't come to our neighborhood and holler at the girl that's giving us a hard time, and vice versa. You going over there and then getting caught at bus stops, transit centers. It wasn't nothing with a gang. People just remember you. If I got jumped and you was just there, and I'd be like, oh, he was one of them. You just automatically just took the charge. And it was like, man, get him. He ain't had nothing to do with it. Nah, he was there. Get him anyway. It was like that. Then I went to Smiley. And you know, Smiley was like, man, Smiley was. It was. Oh man, that's when you had to pick a side. I'm from Lakewood, so when we left, I left Kirby and went to Smiley. Quite naturally, we inherited all our older homeboys and cousins beef. They didn't like the dudes from the mountain and Riverwood, and we didn't like them. It's crazy. That's just how it was at the time. It was neighborhoods, and to this day we all friends and cool. But me, I never liked that because I knew cats from the other neighborhood that actually was cool. I played ball. But when I used to be with my friends and from the neighborhood and we'd be at the band extravaganza, we had to pick a side. Like it's I mean, like what else you gonna do? I used to, cause Lakewood was confrontational. Lakewood, we'll go to the band extravaganza, and by this time, RB was the one that kind of like, he controlled everything.
He like the OG from Lakewood.
Yeah, they was getting money. They wasn't jacking or nothing like that. They was getting real money. But when he left, man, it's like, man, Lakewood just became man, you know, just like it just was. They just confrontational, man, and I really didn't like that. But what can you do at 14 and 13?
Yeah.
You know, they used to go and start stuff, be like, hey, what's up, man? Lakewood. I used to tell myself in my head, like, man, I take third period with him. He cool. You know? I couldn't say that then.
Yeah.
But then my coach told me, he said, man, because my freshman year there, it was like, man, Lakewood, Mason, Homestead was just like Crips and Bloods. It wasn't no mixing.
And speaking on, you know, I know you mentioned a minute ago, you mentioned the RB.
Yeah.
What was some of the OGs that was just riding slab from Lakewood?
He the only one, it's two that I can just recall. Well, I'm gonna go down the line. All right, in Lakewood, it was RB. He was the first one I ever saw in what you would call a slab. But it was a white Cadillac on Swanger. And he was coming up Lay Road. I was and my dad had a Suzuki, like a truck. And I remember RB hitting the corner, and me and my cousin was like, man, look at them wheels, man. I wonder if you stick your leg, like if you walking, if it come close enough, it could cut your leg off. We was kids.
Yeah.
And he was the only one in Lakewood that I can recall. Of course, his whole crew had him though. See, it wasn't just RB. Everybody that was under RB umbrella had Cadillacs. They was the 5th Ward Lakewood posse, 5LP, because RB from Lakewood and 5th Ward, from 5th Ward, you know. Now, in City Gas was Byron Mack.
Was.
B. Mack,
Yeah.
the Ghost.
Yeah.
You know, then you had cats like, it was this cat named Steve-O. Them the only one that I could recall that I even paid attention to.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't have an interest in slabs because of the stigma that comes with them, man. You know, by the time I was paying attention to them, it was in the 90s, and man, they was it's a song in my mind that just reminds me of jacking for them wheels. Big Mike had a song called with Pimp C called Fly Hoes and Swing. Yeah. Just another Texan nigga having things, man.
Yeah.
That was like the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I just remember, cats like talking about how they had to block their wheels. Oh, I'm gonna tell you a story. It was these cats in my neighborhood that had jacked the dude from the south side, and they was bragging about it. Like, oh yeah, we took them off them. We you know, they was talking about, cause they used to leave, like they'll leave in one car and everybody come back with a car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they was talking about one dude they jacked, and so the next time around, they went back to the club and he was in another slab. And so my partner, there's another cat they were talking about, like, man, I thought y'all jacked him. They were like, yeah, we did jack him. You see the wheel? He had a whole nother slab. Yeah. So that helped let me know that, man, these cats having money over here. Anytime you can, and that was the mentality of the South Side, man. If y'all break me, I'm just gonna come back harder.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that coming from the North Side. But what they were saying was, man, that ain't nothing. I'm getting money, I just give me another one. But me being from the North Side, I'm like, man, nah, he took something from you. You gotta do something about that. That's how a po nigga think.
Yeah.
Because that's all we got. You'll get more heat taken from a poor man than you would a rich man. Mm-hmm. So if you take this all I got, man, it'll come back like you would have, like, you know, that was the mentality. Because like I say, I used to see slabs. My grandmother on my dad's side stayed on Yellowstone. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something about Smitty. I've never seen him boat up, but I never forget. I was in my grandmother's house, and I have, like over there, I have older cousins. So my older cousins had a friend, and he used to always talk about Smitty. And I was just coming outside the house when Smitty had just left the block, and they were all outside like, man, I told you, talking about how he got money and woo. And I'm coming outside as a little kid like, Smitty, who is that? Like I'm looking for. They was talking about, it was almost like
a mythical figure.
Just come through there.
Yeah.
But they was talking about, yeah, I told you, he got this. They was talking about woo. But I heard about Smitty on the north. I think if I'm not mistaken, Smitty was connected to the north side too. Mm-hmm. But then I remember when we went in the house, my sister was like, somebody was like, yeah, he used to talk to one of the girls from Salt and Pepper. This is a Southside nigga that his girlfriend was Pepper. But they were talking about, he had just left the block. When I came outside, they were talking about how the car was, but I haven't seen it. I was inside. And I just come out, and when I come out, they was out in the front yard talking about Smitty, but I didn't kick it. Like I say, I wanted to be like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So it was just like Smitty, okay, you know, like it wasn't nothing to me. But I said that to say this, in the culture of the slab in the 90s, all I can remember was cats taking off their steering wheel, blocking their cars in, parking it over here to keep somebody from stealing it or jacking it. Now, you didn't have to rob for it, you could steal it. Some people so good at stealing cars, they'll just steal it and strip it down. And then it'll be somebody else that'll put the hit out to do it. Once they see how it ride, or your beat sound good, your swingers ain't clacking, they're like, hey man, they gonna tell the thieves and the jackals, the dope boy, hey man, if y'all take it, man, this what I got for y'all. A bounty on the car. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you couldn't steal it because in order to steal something, you gotta get caught. So what's the next thing from stealing? The cats with the bigger nuts.
Yeah.
He next up.
Yeah.
You know, that's what was the stigma with them. Growing up, I didn't care for them. I didn't even want to go to a block party. I was the type of cat, hey man, they used to say, hey JJ, we finna go to the block party. I'm like, you can drop me off at my girlfriend's house and just come pick me up when y'all leave there.
Speaking on the block parties, it seemed like Homestead back in the day kind of had what, specifically in the early 2000s, Homestead, that northeast side had like the most jumping block parties. Was it like that back then too?
I wouldn't know because I didn't start doing block parties until I started filming them. I wouldn't know.
What got you into filming?
I was always, I went to college, I went to school, I always went to school outside of Houston. I always left the state to go to college playing ball. So I was in, I told my homeboy, actually the co-founder of Sky High, childhood friend of mine, Beto, and Bang. They know him, but we call him Beto. But we used to always be wanting to go out of town. We was about taking flights and going. You know, we wasn't trying to do nothing in Houston and Texas. We like, man, we could go to Daytona. We could go to Florida. We going to, we going anywhere, Myrtle Beach. We going to where the college party was, 'cause I was a college kid.
Yeah.
So I'm way out of Miami. I never forget, we was at the Spring Bling or the Spring Fest or something they had. So we all out there, and we on Ocean Drive. This when cars could come up Ocean Drive. And man, I seen some red slabs. I'm talking about just
in Miami.
In Miami. I'm talking about like coming down. They had a photo charger drop, a lag drop. I mean, they were just, I'm talking about 12 of them. And they were whoop, whoop, whoop. And it was just like, that was the first time I felt like a kid. Like the experience that the kids had that was growing up, going to these block parties when they were kids. I didn't experience that. I didn't experience that until 2006. And I'm looking like, and I saw the reaction of the crowd there. They was like, oh, well, H-Town. See, really, when H-Town go out of town, that's where the love, see, that's what I knew. Yeah. Man, I'm gonna take my show on the road. Where you from, Houston? Oh, y'all, look at how he talk. You know, the swag and woo, wop, wop. So we going out, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that's Fish. I'm like, Fish? And I saw Fort Ward. I said, Fort Ward, Fish, who is that? So they coming up, whoop, wop, wop. And they, boom, I'm talking about just parked it, shut it down. I mean, there's other Lambos out there that couldn't get by. They had them boys with them dunks, but they was showing love. It wasn't even
in Miami.
In Miami. I said, they must have put them cars on the trailer or something and got them cars. And then everybody was just, I mean, that was the block party. Yeah. And Ocean Drive on South Beach. We in South Beach. So then they was out there, they had like film crews out there. So we sitting on the side, like if you ever been to South Beach, you know, right off the street, they got like clubs or eateries and different. So we was already there having drinks. So then they came to interview me. So I grabbed a mic and I just started going out. Yeah, man, y'all know what it is. Your boy C Good. And you know, this how we come down in H-Town, man. We come through swinging and, you know, Pokey, you see the love that we getting. The ladies is going crazy. I grabbed the girl right there and I'm just, I just ran my show just capping.
Yeah.
So after that, everybody was like, they took my signature, got me amazing, and then that was that. And we went to parties that night, and then we saw a lot of them cats in the parties. On stage, we did it. That's what had me be like, damn, who are these? How these connected? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm talking about every party we went to, H-Town was on stage with the Big Bank, Hank, just different. This was around that era too. When Houston was the Power Wow, when the light was on them.
Yeah.
So this was around that area, so that era. So I get back to Houston and I get some calls like 2 weeks later from people that I went to college with from everywhere. And they were like, man, we saw you on TV. So I'm like, on TV, man, quit playing. And like, you was in Miami. And I said, what? They said, you were talking, we were laughing. I was telling them, man, I know that, you know. And so I was like, for real? So I'm like, well, how can I find it? Where can I find it? They was like, man, you gotta go on this channel, that channel. And I was searching around for it. Then people were steady calling, like, man, I was flipping through the channel and I saw you. So I was like, man, I never got a chance to see it. And that's when I said, man, when I get to Houston, when we got back to Houston, my homeboy was like, man, you need to start you a show. You need to go to every hood and just start filming and just start, go to this neighborhood, because you can do it. You know everybody already. You already got your, one thing about me, the same person, C Good was, I always been that person. In class, I always been a loquacious person. My whole life, popular, well-rounded, can fit in with everybody. So when I got back to Houston, I was like trying to search to get that moment back that I had in Miami. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And it just came spontaneous, because I'm a spontaneous person. Everything that I produced was impromptu. Mm-hmm. There wasn't no script or nothing. We just made it along as the show sequenced in natural time. Mm-hmm. So man, we got back to Houston, man. We started filming. Matter of fact, I started first filming in Lakewood, out Mesa and Lord Copy at the tattoo shop. It was always something going on at that barbershop, tattoo shop, and Kim's Seafood, and we had 2 corner stoves. Mm. And every weekend, man, it's gonna be a shooting, a fighting, gambling. It was just chaotic, but it was just stuff happening. So my mom bought me a digital little Kodak camera, and we used to just go around playing with it. And then I used to let the young cats rap and everything, and I put that show out. And it was like, people was like, man, what you gonna do with it? But it still wasn't what I was looking for. That was just like my first show putting out. So then it dawned on me, man, they having a block party on MLK. And MLK is no greater block party than MLK block party. The reason why I say that is because whenever it's a block party on MLK, people travel from out of town and all over to come see. The South Side has always been the place where everybody gravitates to. You got to understand, it's the college district. It's a lot of clubs. The personality of the South Side was welcoming, because it was players over there having money. So, girls used to go to the Southside Club. You meet a Southside cat having money, he'll buy them drinks. Hey, what's up? That's where the player mindset come in at. You got players and you got hard heads. The hard heads is not charismatic. Yeah. The hard heads got a chip on their shoulder. They want to hurt a player, rob a player, because they see a player having fun, having money, and having fun with your gal. If you get caught, if she get caught out of pocket. Yeah. So that was the stigma of the North and the South. South side was players, the North side knew it was rough. But it was rough cats on the South side, it was players on the North too. But it's just that's what the personalities was. Mm-hmm. Like, people want to talk about the North side jacking, the South side was jacking for swingers too. Mm-hmm. it was Northside cats being robbed for their swingers too. You know, I know cats that used to, you know, like if you from both sides, they'll get somebody from the south side to come jack their homeboy on the north. And get somebody from the north to jack their homeboy from their people from the south, because they got an inside plug on what's going on over here, because they over there.
Yeah.
And they'll come and say, hey man, this cat, he got, y'all got to do this. Man, it's contract job, subcontract job.
Yeah.
So I said that to say that MLK Block Party was my first block party experience with filming. You know, when I went out there, you know, people was kind of like, oh, I think I know him. Hey, what's up? But, you know, I used to get in the mix with the camera.
Was they tripping when you was getting in the mix like that? Because, I mean, nowadays we get in the mix with it. We talking to you in the car.
I ain't going to say they was, you know, I may have had a hiccup or two, but for the most part, I'm coming in, hey, what's up? Because you got to understand, I didn't come in with no, I had professional cameras back then. I didn't come in with them.
Yeah.
Then I had a crew. I had my partners. They was holding them big cameras. Hey, this nigga must be serious. It's different.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, and we had the sky high shirts, so we looked like something.
Yeah.
Then people, hey, then it helped when people be like, what's up, she good? And then the girls come out, hey, she good. Give me a hug and let me grab a handful. Oh, he'll play. Who is this? Yeah, you know. And it was just, so they was like, okay, film it, boom. And then I'm not hating. I'm going to this cat. And then some of the cats used to be like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, come shoot it. They was kind of like, it was the presentation. I come out the game with a professional camera. I'm talking about the cameras like this.
Yeah.
So they was like, okay, this cat different. Who is this cat with this camera? But that was the first part of it. Once I produced it, and I already knew the soundtrack to put on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Houston music. I'm going to put music that was, you gotta understand too, I broke a lot of artists' music. Like if they had something that was jumping, like I'm talking about the Kiki, like when they had underground music that jammed or whatever, I used to put it on there. But I wasn't looking for nothing in return. I was just looking for a soundtrack for what's going on. Some people used to give me music to play, but if it didn't fit or I didn't like what was going on, I was like, nah, I'm not, nah, we ain't gonna do that. I wanted to be jamming.
What did the commentary come in at?
The commentary was something to separate myself from everybody, to explain to people what was going on.
Yeah.
And then I had you gotta understand, I grew up, we used to cap on each other. But then you got an intelligent way of capping to the point where people won't even catch on to it till 3 days later. By that time, it's over with.
Yeah.
It went over their head. So I used to be able to do that in person. Some of the capping didn't come until because I film somebody car, they'll be like, yeah, I'm holding, yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, I see you with them discs on there. I see you with them discs on there. And he'll be like, yeah, smiling. And they be like, but no, he getting roasted.
Yeah.
But I did it in a way that was like cool. He didn't feel, they laughed, like, but once I get behind the camera, I'm able to explain what's going on. Yeah, this person right here, yeah, he just dropped his baby mama off at the block party, and he really don't feel comfortable leaving just yet, so he gonna make a block and park across the street. Just different stuff. Or his engine wasn't quite right, but he didn't want to miss the block party, so now he gotta get told his engine is smoking and it's holding up traffic. He got 10 on his car, but he don't have no rims. It just was stuff.
Was it other people out there recording? Because it seemed like you was the only one.
It was
during
people.
that time.
I'm gonna be real with you. It wouldn't matter if they did. Even to this day, you're not gonna produce it the way I'm gonna produce it.
Yeah. Okay.
Your confidence have to kick in.
Yeah.
It's everybody. I grew up in a competitive world. Everybody was playing basketball. Everybody didn't get scholarships though.
Yeah.
You gotta have some type of gift, and even if you do have talent, if you work hard, you will make it further than the person that have talent. Because talent tends to bring laziness, because it's a God's gift. Some stuff you didn't have to work for. That's why sometimes you can outwork people and beat them to the punch. But it was other people out there filming. I used to get on people's cameras. And my homeboys used to say, man, stop doing that. I'm like, man, it don't matter. Can't nobody listen. When you are confident and certain of yourself of what you're doing, it don't matter, man. Can't nobody stop me but me. That's it.
What's your most memorable moment while recording at a block party?
Oh, man, I have so many of them, man.
Just the one that pop up into your mind.
All right. Man. Yeah. Oh, RB coming through there with them stacks of money.
What the boy say?
He say, I see
Ride
her
by myself all day,
every day. Yeah, RB. See, that's how we connected back up. I hadn't seen him since he went to the penitentiary in the 90s. And we, you know, I saw him at the block party, and he used to show love. Hey, what's up, man? He used to always look out for me. You know, he invited me to his house and stuff. You know, RB don't rock with everybody. But he was one of the ones that I was like, okay, man, his personality. He was the same person he was. He was like that in Gucci with the Jerry curls and the Dookie ropes.
Yeah.
Him coming out there with the money, let's see. I go by, let's see, I remember like Acres Home. You know, oh man, shout out to Acres Home in Studewood. That's how I linked. I didn't know anything really about them neighborhoods growing up. I heard about them, but I didn't have a reason to go over there. The only thing you heard was some confrontation that had happened between the two. But come to find out, there was a lot of players over there, you know.
Book and all of them.
Buck, Lil Ant, JP, OT, man, I don't want to miss anybody because I rock with Skrilla, JP Skrilla. That's who I first linked up with from Studewood because he had the clear top.
Yeah.
Man. Boston, Lil Rolly. Man, there was so many, man. Cause you gotta understand, the block party was one thing, but we used to film like in the clubs, like me and Lil Boom when we hooked up. See, the SLAB culture came to the club parking lot too.
Yeah.
So that scissor.
Yeah.
That's where that started. I used to put that on TV. See, Boom, that's how Boom was able to, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like right now it's like the block party. We have block parties every Sunday. It's something that's just missing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was going to the club right after y'all went to the block party.
Well, you gotta understand the block parties is evolving.
Yeah.
You know, we man, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, they got boys, it's about scat packs and Hellcats now.
Yeah.
I ain't none of that swinging. Boys wanna burn rubber and do donuts. I'm gonna be honest with you, I like it. Now my partner, Papa, Liberty Road Papa, he don't like it because it brings
different type of environment.
It brings a different energy. You know, that burn rubber, that smoke, them laws may come tripping, so they, hey man, chill out on the burnout. And I can understand that and respect that. But from the person that's looking at the TV, you be like, man, it's something different. That's what's in now. It's about the muscle cars now.
Yeah.
You know, swinging was never supposed to really be a contact sport. It was supposed to be a cruise finesse sport. But when you get a personality behind the wheel, you know, wasn't no cat that had spent $30,000, $40,000 in the car trying to drive his car like that. That was for the young ones who didn't inherit a slab from their big brother with them wild youngsters. You know, they just swing on them. You know, that was just like that was Dante and them. That was them Crane Street, Liberty Road, the Green Line. Them boys was really into swing.
Yeah.
They was like real work, and they used to have contests like, hey, if you wreck my car, so what? I don't care. You know, they say, hey, get out, tell them boys and them red slabs, hey man, y'all come get out there with us. But some of them was like, man, them Southside boys cars was kind of neatly tailored. They really didn't really want that action. But when they get to talking, see this what happened. The person that's in the finesse car get to talking, and the cat that's in the other slab, he's the aggressor. So he like, hey, okay, well, what you want to do? And hey, all right, I wreck my, it don't matter what you want. And get the blocking. And hey, wait. I done seen some situations where swinging and went bad. And I'm fortunate enough to capture it on tape. Yeah. I saw some squabbles happen behind. Oh, hit the car. I heard people coming out, hey, man, you hit my car. Oh, what's up, man? You know, pistol, hey, what's up? Pull over. I think I saw Papa and his cat get out they slab and had a head up fight. What's up? Pop, 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 pop. And the girl, you know, but you had the Southwest Red Line. Mm-hmm. That was Ace Boogie. All right, let me break down my on the red slabs. You know, you got the Southwest, then you had the South Side. Mm-hmm. You know, you had Ace Boogie, Ray, Funny Man, Quisha. Mm-hmm. It was a few of them. Then you had some other cats from like South Park. You know, they had, you know, then some of them didn't even ride red. They had Candy Blue or Candy Green. Mm-hmm. Then you had like the Liberty Road, LRG. Ernest was doing a lot of their cars at the time. Fly Ride. Dee and Randy. You had them cat, Papa. Man. You know, I know I'm gonna miss somebody because it's so many. Then you had like the, you had like them cats from like Rosewood. Foolie Wayne, Nut. See, that's who I started with. Yeah. I started with Nut, Foolie Wayne. The Cadillac Boys. So, as a matter of fact, when I first interviewed Nut, he had just been shot from trying to rob him when I first started. So it was still jacking going on that's what at first they was knocking Texan Wild Wheel. Oh man, ride them new booties. If they ain't been rolled on by some OGs, if ain't nobody got killed or it ain't come behind these wheels, we don't ride them. But me at the time, I didn't really know the difference at the time. I didn't really care because you gotta understand, I didn't pay that much attention to them growing up. But I did know that the difference was Texan Wild Wheel made the rims for the new wave cars. You can't put them little wheels on the new cars. It's not gonna look right. You know, but I had a homeboy from St. Louis. He liked the culture. He was riding swingers. They robbed him at a gas station. R.I.P. the D. Lindsay out of Sennewood, they robbed him. He went and robbed his back and took their inventory. He did. Now I can talk about this. They robbed him or jacked him or stole or whatever, but he found out who it was and got the tip on it and went in there. And when he went to get his wheels back, he said they had swingers in there stacked in there. And they took them. You know. And this was like around when I was filming. Yeah. So it was still kind of like making that transition over. You still heard. I actually saw the guys on Little York and 45. When they robbed that cat at that McDonald's for his car. And when he came out, he killed one of them. When I pulled up, the dude was hanging out the car dead. And they came all the way from, I think, Bryan, Texas, and was coming out here robbing for swingers. Yeah. So it wasn't just Houston, it was just that stigma. I'm just glad that it's not. It's over with. It should be. Yeah. It should be, but the block parties has changed now because I ain't gonna say that it's changed. I just think that it evolved. It's just about who put. Like, shout out to Papa for keeping it going for the North Side. It's on on Laura Copy. It used to be block parties on Liberty Road, but you know what stopped the block parties is when the shootings and the confrontations happen. That's why MLK have to be manned. You know, like you really go up one way and then come up the other way. At some point, they shut it down. They had to. I have the footage of what led to that when it wasn't police out there and it was mayhem. They was driving backwards. You gotta understand, MLK is in a residential area. People couldn't get home. Them elderly ladies, Miss Ernestine and Aunt Bernadette, you know, them people, they don't want that. They like, man, and then they blocking it off, swinging and driving backwards, and it looked good, but it don't feel good from a community perspective of the elderly. So they have to bring order. I hate to say it, you know, that's the difference. See, our OGs had order back then. Ain't no OGs now.
What's your thoughts on, like, you know, because you done started something that we doing now, even to what I'm doing right now. I mean, it come from a line of what you was doing at that point in time, because you was pretty much the only one that was doing it. What's your thoughts on, you know, you got people out here. I remember me and my daddy went out to a block party one time, and it was like white boys out there. People that's not from these neighborhoods that were recording, you know, getting camera footage and everything. It all come from you, basically. Yeah, well, you know, it's like this. Anything that you start is really not for you. You starting and originating something for somebody to come behind you, you know, to pave the way for that. I'm actually glad that they're able to come out. As long as they're not recording foolishness and really taking the content and trying to use it toward anything negative, I'm cool with it. They be doing that too, though.
Right. But then that's the responsibility of the people to you know, like when I was doing it, you know, I was doing it out of love. I was showing. Then I had some kickback from people that used to say, man, what you doing? You making fun of the culture. You exploiting your community. They used to call up here to the cable station and say, and they used to let me hear it. The board and the executives here used to say, look, we had some calls and let me listen. And I used to hear people, and it was black people. He's going around and he's exploiting this community and he's doing this and doing that and doing that. And I'm looking like, man, am I in trouble or something? They're like, nah, we just want you to hear what people are saying. We don't care because we know what you're doing and we respect you as an artist, you know. But to answer your question, I think it's beautiful, man, you know, and then people don't care as long as they see themselves on there. But they don't know how to tell the story. They don't know that's where the commentary come in at. The commentary lets you know, I know what I'm talking about and what's going on. Some people know how to just film something, and they can put the edits on it and make it look good and put the sound to it. And I actually am a fan of some of the content that I see. And, you know, that's how I'm able to watch. And then some of the people that I see, I be like, oh, okay, that's all right, I'm seeing what's going on. But, you know, I really, you know, and then when I come on the scene, they pay homage. You know, I don't never get in. Actually, when I come out, and then I still be at a lot of them. I just be running my drone camera. Because I don't be wanting to get in the, you know, I don't be wanting to go around and get in the mix with that responsibility. Sometimes I just want to stop by and keep it moving. You know, my life has evolved a lot now. You know, I have a lot of responsibility. And my filming has left, you know, I never stop filming. I just do other things. Now I do trips, weddings, baby showers, funerals. You know, I've evolved to other productions, but I do like block parties because that's the best car show you can get. I don't even like going to a car show in a facility. I like the car show when the car is rolling on the street. You know, that the coaches, you know, today, man, the block parties are the block parties. The only ones, you know, I like, these are the block party areas. The places that have the real estate for block party. You got MLK, Homestead. For the north, Homestead is the north side of MLK because it's stretched long. It goes from Houston Gardens to Rosewood to Scenic Wood, Fontaine, up and down to the Manor, Riverwood, but Riverwood don't have the real estate for block party anymore because they lost that parking lot that was used to be Super Skate right there, right right behind the gas station. But I like the real estate because it's a double lane and you got parking lots on both sides. Then you have Studewood, the Yale Street, Acres Home, Carver Park, West Montgomery, Little York, North Plaza. Shout out to North Plaza. You know, that section, over there. You have different places that just have the real estate. And then people talk about the North and the South, man, the East side, Clinton Park. You got Baytown, Barrett Station, McNair. I really haven't been there in the block party. Oh yeah, I've done some block parties on the Southwest because you got like you have. I used to do something out for West Airport and Fondren, I think. But then you have like the Southwest. I'm sure they have places where they have block parties, but nothing beat MLK. And Fifth Ward, Liberty Road, Crane Street, Lowndes, Kelly Court. They have Market Street. But what shuts block parties down in neighborhoods when you don't own the real estate. Because when people come and buy these places, man, they don't want you having a block party over there. Yeah. But the two top places that have a block party in Houston, to me, is MLK and Homestead, because they have the real estate. That's the only reason. It don't mean that other places don't have live block parties, because I go everywhere. We had a live block party on Mesa, and I'm going to tell you something about that block party. That's where I got footage of Byron Mack working the wheel there.
Oh, no, I got to see that.
We brought him out. But he told me, though, he said, hey, C-Good, man, I love what you do, but I don't do camera. He just want it's a lot of legendary cats out here that just don't do camera. Yeah. They'll say, you can film my car. So when me and RB, me and OG threw a block party on Mesa, and it was everybody come out, the South Side. That was one of my best accomplishments because our neighborhood wasn't a place you just come to. It wasn't welcoming by outsiders. But we put the block party on there. We gave away backpacks and stuff. Man, the whole block came out. I mean, Acres Home, South Side, Southwest, Fifth Ward, they all came out to Mason and Tidwell.
Before we get up out of here, can you name your top 5 greatest slabs that you didn't record it?
Oh, man. I'm going to just go down the list. Let me think. B-Mac, of course.
Yeah.
Jay Skrilla, Studewood, Clear Top. Chase from City Gas had a clear top too. Them was the first two with clear tops.
It was a drop slant, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buck at the green.
Drop green, I think it was an Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just go down the list. Lil Bull had some slabs too. Lil Bull from Glenwood, from Wayside, which was bought by some cats from McNair. See, let me tell you something else too. Boys used to buy slabs from cats. I'm talking about be at a block party and say, hey man, what you want for that? Man, this and that, all right. I'm talking about
right then and there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, what you want for it? But it had to be somebody square business because, that's another way you can kind of get, caught. Hey, you got the titles to it? Yeah. Hey, what you want for it? All right, me, yeah. What you want? All right. But back to the top slab. Man, you talking about, it was this cat. Dang, his name was Red. He had shout out to Stupid Tim. Stupid Tim slabs just wasn't in top tier condition, but the creativity. I always said if Stupid Tim had the money Oh man, he would put something. Tim had ski boats and boats spray painted with poles on it.
Stripper poles.
Stupid Tim is a legend. He's a legend in Houston to me.
Yeah.
But when we used to go to Austin and them small towns, Stupid Tim was a god.
Yeah.
When the show didn't start till he pulled up.
Yeah.
He has an innovative mind, and he don't have no discouragement from people. He just keep, so Stupid Tim, I'm missing some people, man. I know I am, man. Y'all gotta forgive me, cause everything has its own uniqueness. It's certain slabs that's unique just because who it belonged to before them. That's just like if somebody had Fat Pat slab, and that's just the fact that Fat Pat was behind there, is just like put it in there. People that don't know it be like, oh, that's just an old regular Lincoln, but nah, that's Pat Living Lincoln, or Pat, I'm trying to think. It's this cat that was from the manor, had a Swanger steering wheel. I'm talking about like a Swanger. He had a yellow.
It was gold.
Yeah, like I think he was from Rosewood.
I can't think of his
yeah,
name,
but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he had one of those.
His name Red, I think.
Yeah, Red. Let me see. Who else had something that was just? He from Rosewood. Kerry.
Yeah.
I got the footage of Kerry putting that car together. He had the trunk opening up like this, like how my fingers opening up and it closed like that. And I was like, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Until I saw the finished product. And I'm gonna get that picture to you too, because I got a picture of me sitting in the finished product when we was out of town.
Yeah.
It was some cats out of town had some nice slabs too. Navasota, Brian. See, the slab culture influenced Texas from East Texas going east. Now, as far as when you get by Dallas, that's over with.
Yeah.
But anything going East Texas, Brenham, Hearn, Austin, going back toward Orange, Port Arthur, Lake Charles. I think there was some cats in Louisiana riding slab, but you gotta understand that we had that's the Texas-Louisiana connection. When you start going up to Dallas, they more on Midwest, Oklahoma, dumps.
Yeah.
Cutlet, they got a whole different swag from us,
Okay.
RB had a nice slab he put together that he actually got from somebody. He had a lack. It's a lot of them that were just, as long as it was sprayed and it was put together and it had, a pop trunk, or, you had the gold line. Oh, Cam. Cam had that had that Chrysler. Cam was the one that I had the footage. The way Cam came up the beach when we was in Surfside, when my partner from Fifth Ward, Gucci Roo, my partner Gucci used to have like the beach parties, the Gucci crew, and they had Papa car got stuck in the sand. Slabs was getting stuck in the sand. But somehow Cam and them Gold Line Gulf Coast boys was coming up the coastline.
Yeah.
And it was like, everybody was looking like, man, how they do that?
Yeah.
And they came up riding up the beach. That was the same feeling that
you had in Miami.
And for me, I'm a visionary. That's what I get off on. I get off on I have dreams of visions. And creativity. I'm like obsessed with it. That's why sometimes, man, I get into these. I'm not able to produce fast enough because I be having almost like what a writer would have writer's block. I would have like creative blocks because I do the editing. I do the full production. So I have to go through the whole process. And through them process, I be like, okay, I want to do it this way. Certain stuff, I be like, oh, okay, I know exactly how I'm going to do this. But I probably can't get to it right away because I have a backlog of other things that I'm producing. Like I was putting out, man, I put out some of this stuff. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, ain't no way I should, and I'm training people now to learn just how to do half the stuff I do.
Yeah.
Because I can delegate certain things to them and I can finish it up.
Yeah.
Almost like if a chef in a restaurant, he'll have somebody over there whipping the mashed potatoes enough to get it to this point. Oh, and I can put my up next. So I have a vision of, I'm getting into movies, directing movies and stuff like that with no influences from the outside. Can't nobody tell my story from my experience. Because like I say, people gonna try to take from it or add to it to make stuff look cool. Cool is a part of it. Certain stuff that we idolize is not cool. But this is the mirror. That's what Sky High was, a mirror. This is a mirror of what's going on.
Man, you got any shout outs to get up out of here?
Any shout outs, I want to just give a shout out to anybody that's ever showed love, genuine love to me, man, from Houston, man. I can go down the list from Acres Home, the Money Stretchers, Barry Lee, Jay Skrilla. These are all right, I'm gonna do it like this. These are the introductions of the people that I met that led to other relationships with Sky High. So, first of all, I'm gonna shout out Houston. I'm gonna shout out everybody. I'm gonna shout out, Barry Lee, Jay Skrilla, Liberty Road, LRG Papa, OGD Town, OGRB, oh my God. I really don't want to do shout out because I'm going to leave somebody out.
Yeah.
Just shout out to the South Side, the East Side, and I don't know. I'm going to leave somebody out, but y'all know who y'all are, man. Anybody that, even the ladies, even the ladies in Houston, everybody, it's a lot of people that, I ain't gonna lie, I receive nothing but love for the most part. And I just hope I'm able to return it through the success of having something that's a cornerstone headquarter to produce our stories. I want to be the one to produce our stories. Shout out to you for reaching out, man. I know I don't know, you feel like I was blowing you off.
No.
But I be so busy, man. I don't know how I be in town a day, be gone for 3 days, come back a day, turn around. I have kids now, so it's shout out to shout out to Beto, shout out to the Sky High team, my boy Cole, Beto, my brother Timbo, Lil Kobe, Stupid Tim, Lil Boom, JP. Man, there's just so many people originally that just extended their hand, man. And there's a lot of these places I didn't even know about, my boy Boston, free Boston George, my boy Ike, R.I.P. Gator, R.I.P. Dokie, R.I.P. Didi, and I don't even know why I started that. Yeah. And just I can tell you, man, keep doing what you're doing. We'll finish this up another time, but this is my experience with this is my personal experience with Sky High. And anybody that has a camera out there trying to do it, man, I just encourage everybody to go through the storm, to do it, and just be innovative. You got to be bold, and just don't stop. Go after your dreams. Yeah. Go after your dreams and conquer your nightmares.
Yeah. Already, man.
Yeah.
It's SlabOgsTV. We got a legend up in here. If you ain't never seen his videos, or, you want to get at him, man, go get at him. Go do your history, man.
Yeah, Sky High Entertainment, make no other arrangements. Forget what you heard and recognize what you see. I'm out with the bucket hat on.
We out.